baby. Nathan told Britt to turn away if Rocco reaches out again. The Quartermains learned that Drew is the one that bought the house. Portia confided in Ava about everything that's going on. And the last thing is that Lulu told Dante that Rocco been lying, and that's about it, y'all. Nothing too much happened. Drew continues to win. I think they said something about this week Drew suffers a loss. So what he gonna lose? I was wondering what was in them contracts that the paperwork that Martin had drew up. But yeah, I was like, Martin, you gonna get what's coming to you. I said, now all them gotta move out. I said, now y'all should listen to Tracy. Tracy told y'all, but no, y'all wanted to side with a stranger. I did feel sorry for Ronnie though, y'all. I did feel sorry for her. I know they don't know her like that, but I feel like she's giving off this there's more to the story. I feel like she's giving it away that there's more to the story, but they can't tell because they don't know her like that. But at the same time, if you're quick enough to believe her that she this and she that against y'all mama and grandmama and great grandma and all this other stuff, then you should be able to see this. Something ain't right. Now I don't think Drew knows about Martin bringing Ronnie in, do he? He don't know, do he? I don't know, but anyway, go. Hey y'all. Welcome back to another review. Life Chess. This for General Hospital, October 29th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? How do y'all feel about the continuation of Drew getting his way? How do y'all feel about that? I think the good news about this episode is that Jacinda decided to stick with Michael instead of going with Nina. But yeah, where do we start? I guess with Britt and Elizabeth. I think they said the reason why Britt gonna start working for Sewell is because she gonna get fired. I think on tomorrow's episode she gonna be talking to, I'm assuming, Elizabeth or whatever. But yeah, they was talking on today's episode. Britt ends up telling Elizabeth that she knows how to do her job. Elizabeth ended up telling her, she made the error, so she was telling her to fix it and everything. And I was like, yeah, they continue to butt heads, but I could have sworn that everybody was cool with her, before she died and everything. But yeah, that's all they was talking about. Then Nathan ended up coming up to tell her that they have a problem. It's about Rocco. They end up talking about Lulu having a problem with her, with the fact that Rocco snuck out. Rick felt like it wasn't her fault, or it's not her concern that Lulu don't know how to, handle her child. Basically what she said. And he was trying to tell her to stop undermining Lulu and stuff like that. And if Rocco reaches out again, to turn him away, especially since she connected to some very dangerous people or whatever. And I was like, dude, I want to know. That's one thing I want to know. First of all, who's the boss? Secondly, is Nathan the boss? Before they showed him in that truck and everything, they showed him in the hospital. I was like, okay, is he gonna be the boss? Is he gonna be the one that's the boss? But he claimed he don't even know where he been, so I don't know what's going on. I just know he ain't right. But yeah, that's all I know for sure. But I definitely want to know if Faison's still alive. Um, it was something else. It was something else. I can't remember what it was, y'all. But yeah, next we got Dante and Lulu. So with them, Lulu ends up telling Dante about Rocco, the fact that he snuck out to dinner while she was out of town with Charlotte and everything, and he felt some type of way. He wanted to confront Rocco, but Lulu felt like, this is because he's trying to protect her and her feelings. And Dante started doing what he do as a detective, questioning stuff like that. And Rocco was just over here stuttering, and he wasn't straight up answering. He wasn't directly answering and stuff. So Charlotte was speaking for him. She was protecting her brother. She was looking out for him and stuff like that. Then she's like, you said you would help me on the porch with Tracy boxes or something. And when she went out there, she told him, she was like, you're gonna have to come clean. Cause he wanted to still lie. And she was like, you gotta come clean because they know that we're lying or whatever. I said, exactly. But before they went out there, Charlotte told Lulu that she want to have more meetings with Valentine like that. And obviously Lulu wasn't okay with it, but they didn't get to fully talk. And I said, don't worry, because if Carly gets her way, he finna get ready to come closer to town. Come closer to town. He about to come closer or whatever. But yeah, that's how they was talking about. And Dante was saying the last time that this situation happened, he ended up in the hospital, and he don't want that to happen again. And I was like, he not wrong. Oh, something else that Charlotte said. She said that he gonna have to come clean about that because not only do they know that he's lying or they're lying, but they don't want them to find out what they really up to. Talking about some they finna get ready to break into the lab and stuff. But they said they was supposed to just. Then they said they supposed to distract the security guard or something like that. That's all they supposed to be doing. I guarantee. Now I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna just say it anyways. I guarantee they gonna do something they ain't got no business, and they gonna end up in danger. Or either way it go, they gonna end up in danger. I think so. I think that's why they doing all this secretive stuff. I think that they're gonna end up in danger once again. But yeah, that's how that happened with Dante and Lulu. Isaiah and Curtis. Um, Curtis was looking for Portia, and Isaiah told my son he not the keeper of his wife or something like that. What else did he say? Did I even write it down? Curtis tells Isaiah he want to talk to Portia about their family and stuff like that, and he was like he not the keeper of her, but he was like if you see her, let her know that he's looking for her and stuff like that. I said just go to her office because she'll be there soon enough, and she was there. She after she got done talking to Ava, she showed up. I said now you want to come. I said she hasn't learned anything, and I don't like how she tried to spin it like what she said. What did she say to Ava? Jordan was entertaining Curtis, so basically Isaiah was entertaining her. I said, "You cheated, girl. That's just what it is." Yeah, they obviously had something going on. Curtis finally admitted that he felt this pull and he has this connection with Jordan and everything. But aside from that, you cheated, girl. That's just all it boils down to. You cheated. You cheated. That's why you worried about how your daughter gonna react because you cheated. And you made it seem like the reason they breaking up was because of Jordan. But yeah, what did I live for? It was something I supposed to be telling y'all. I don't forget. I know we was talking about Curtis and Isaiah, and he was like, he not the keeper. And I said, does she keep lying? She told Ava, and we ain't supposed to talk about them yet. Well, actually, we're going to combine it. Portia and Ava. So she met up with her. She ended up telling her about the divorce as well as the pregnancy. Then she goes on to say she don't know if Curtis the dad or not. And I think that's the first time she told anybody. She didn't get a chance to tell Elizabeth that Isaiah was the one she was sleeping around with, did she? But yeah, she ends up telling Ava that it's Isaiah and everything. And I said, see, these people can't hold water. Like, look, telling everybody except the right people. Telling everybody except the right people. Because if y'all really over and all this other stuff and you so sure about Jordan, why you can't tell him that you seeing Isaiah? Why you couldn't tell before you found out he was pregnant? Now, I know why you don't want to tell now because you don't know. You don't know. But yeah, she told about Isaiah and everything, and she was asking her what she gonna do, and they were just talking about that. And her main concern was Trina. Trina feeling some type of way about her because she cheated and stuff like that. Um, what else did she say? Let's see. Portia tells Ava about Isaiah said while Curtis was being entertained by Jordan, she was being entertained by Isaiah basically, and they were just talking about that. And she was like, she need her to be there for Trina because she gonna have a hard time about this and just support her. And she was like, she gonna do it. And they were just talking about that. Um, Curtis and Laura. He another one that can't hold water. He done went told Laura that him and Portia, first of all, they getting a divorce. Now, didn't they just say how they wasn't telling anybody? But yeah, told that they getting a divorce. Then he told that she may be pregnant. And she was like, how did you know that? Or whatever. And he was like, Jordan. And she was like, she told Jordan? He was like, no, or whatever. She was at a party and that's what she put two and two together or whatever. And Laura was like, basically, Portia could have seen the attraction between them two and that could have contributed to it. But I said, but yeah, you right. You ain't wrong. But at the same time, don't try to let her off the hook. Don't try to let her off the hook. She a cheater and a liar. She definitely a liar. I said, she don't learn nothing. Talking about some, that's the part I forgot. She told Ava, Portia told Ava that she wanted to keep the pregnancy a secret until after the first trimester. After the first trimester, she done lied. First, she lied about Trina. Then she lied about Drew blackmailing her. Then what else she lied about? It was something else she lied about. Now she lying. She ain't told him that she been cheating on him. She ain't told him that she pregnant. I mean, he know now. And now she's talking about so she want to keep it a secret until after the first trimester. So they showed him. He went to her office finally. Now he want to pop up and walk in and stuff like that. What the world going on? But yeah, he done went in there and he was like, are you pregnant? And it went off. It went off. And I said, she gonna let him believe that she's actually carrying his child. I can see it now. Now I'd be shocked if she said tomorrow, I gotta tell you something. I've been sleeping around with Isaiah this whole time, But I don't think she is. She a liar. She's ever since she got on the show, she been lying. And you know what else I thought when they showed that scene? When Isaiah had called, he got there, he told my son, he brought her food or something like that, and she was gone. She was gone or whatever, and he felt some type of way. They end up being on the phone together, and that's when she explained she had to come back for work and stuff like that, but she'll be back. And I knew Curtis was gonna show up, so I'm like, okay, I thought that Isaiah was gonna be on the phone. That would have been a perfect opportunity. If she accidentally didn't hang up and he heard her say she was pregnant, even though she ain't said it yet, but I'm assuming tomorrow she gonna confirm that she is pregnant. But yeah, I was hoping that somebody heard it. But yeah, it's gonna continue. She been sneaking around for how long now? And now I'm talking about some, yeah, while he was being entertained by Jordan and all this other stuff. But Curtis did admit to Laura that, he still has feelings for her. Oh, when they was talking, when Portia and Abel was talking, they was talking about Jordan and lying, like she ain't got lies and stuff like that. But when she lied, did she lie about work or something like that? About being undercover? She lied about something. I don't know what it was. I forgot. She lied about something. But ain't that why they got a divorce in the first place? Cause they was talking about how she got her own secrets, but then they break up. Then they actually get a divorce because she lied the first time. I said she lied one time, and the Portia don't lie several times, several times, still lying. But yeah, let's see. It was something that's what we went back to. I already talked about. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack all the way. Let's see. Nina ends up giving Jacinda a check, and that's when Drew walks in. He wanted to know what was going on. So that's when Nina was trying to explain to him what she's trying to do. So she gives her the check and told her basically it's her choice to decide, and she ends up leaving. I said, don't do it, it's a trap. I said, you can't trust her. I said, I don't think you trust Michael either, but at the same time, you more so could trust him than you can her. But yeah, then she started trying to explain to Drew what she's up to, why she trying to pay her off and trying to break Michael's alibi and stuff like that. So this fool Drew ended up telling her about buying the house. He thinks that buying the house will make Michael lash out. I said, when did he become so obsessed with Michael? Like, what? You the one that set all this emotion in you, and like you somebody's victim or whatever. And Drew was like, he didn't know if Michael had shot him or anything, but he know for certain that he framed Willow. He know for certain that he framed Willow. And they agreed on that. They both, I said, look at you. I said, that's how y'all got in that trouble in the first place. That's where y'all got where y'all was at in the first place. Look at you, trying to scheme and stuff. But yeah, so he trying to do this to make Michael lash out so he could prove that, he could have been the one who shot him. I said, they still ain't told us who shot the man. I said, they still ain't told us who done shot him. But yeah, let's see. Nathan tells Reed they have a problem. Lulu wants to create an environment where Rocco feels safe enough to tell the truth. Curtis tells Laura that him and Portia getting a divorce. Portia tells Ava about Isaiah. Charlotte asks Lulu if she's talked to Brendan about another visit with Valentine. Dante asked Rocco where he was that night, and that's when Charlotte kept interfering and stuff. Portia was worried how Trina would react. Laura said that Portia could have seen the attraction between him and Jordan, and that's what led to all this. Portia wants to keep the pregnancy a secret. We talked about that. Jacinda tells Michael about Nina offer, and she was like, she don't know what to do. She want to lean towards, what's best for her. And she was like, she know Nina basically can't be trusted and stuff like that. She only serving herself in her best interest. She was like, so she decided to go with Michael. But yeah, then you go back over here to the Quartermains or whatever. So they still trying to talk. Tracy going off on running. She just going off. She just hanging her head low and stuff. I said she hang her head low like I be doing. Like I be doing when I'm uncomfortable or something like that. That's what she did the same thing I was doing. But yeah, so she just started holding her head down. Tracy going in on her, said everybody said that I was wrong and I was this and that, but you are, and you this and you that or whatever. And they was like, Michael can pay whatever it is or whatever to keep the house and stuff like that. And she was like, she already made her decision. So they wanted to know who bought the house. Drew walked in. I said, oh, now they can't kick him out. He about to kick everybody out. He told them they all gotta. He told them basically they all gotta find somewhere else to live. Well, yeah, he came in, told them it's his house, and they was questioning her about why she did that. Tracy went off again. Tracy was already going off, but she definitely went off. She was like, basically, she dishonored Monica's memory and stuff like that, and she left. She looked like she was about to cry. And she telling Jason on tomorrow's episode, look like it anyway. She telling Jason on tomorrow's episode that, it's too late or whatever. So I'm assuming she gonna tell about what Ronnie did. I said, somebody need to figure out what's really going on around here. But yeah, we already talked about Nathan. Curtis said Curtis was talking to Laura. She was asking, she basically told him, staying in a marriage that's clearly not working is unfair to that baby. And I said, exactly. I said, somebody gets it. I said, that's the first time in a long time I heard somebody say that. Because everybody been like, yeah, for the sake of the family and the baby, the baby deserve both parents. You could have, y'all know, we ain't even going to talk about it. I talk about this so much. But I said, about time somebody get it. Golly. Because you don't want her. And he said, in a perfect world, hold on. He said, in a perfect world, he would get his baby and he'd get Jordan. Then Jordan's supposed to be talking to Laura on tomorrow's episode 2. Some of her feelings for Curtis are stronger than ever and whatever. And I said, you done gave him away. I mean, I don't think the baby gonna be his, but it might be. I don't know. But yeah, he said he want his baby and he want Jordan. Nathan tells Britt that she should turn away. We talked about that. Let's see. Jacinda said she's sticking with Michael. Ava had called Nina, said basically come down there because she wanted her to see Michael and Jacinda together. They end up toasting and everything, so I'm assuming Nina picked up that, she not gonna change her mind. But yeah, after everything and they was going off and questioning Ronnie, and Ronnie was just laying up, she just looking down at her feet, and it's like she didn't want to say anything. She did say how, she don't want to be part of they squabble, they back and forth and everything they got going. I said, now that you should have led with it. I say, to be honest, I'm surprised she lasted this long, because I would have been up out of there. But yeah, I was like, I feel bad for her. I said, I don't think I'm supposed to feel bad for her, do I? Because she should have stuck to her first mind and not went along with Martin. But yeah, I was like, But yeah, I was like, I feel bad for her. The way they was, well, mainly Tracy. Tracy was really the only one going off and everything. But yeah, that's it, y'all. They gotta find somewhere else to live. That's it, that's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, have a good rest of the day and be safe.